Okay, good morning, everybody. It's Tony Fleming. This is our Saturday morning huddle training. That's the new name of our training. We got a huddle up every Saturday morning between 11 and 12 Eastern. That's 10 a.m. Central. And on here, we talk about all kind of things that can help you in your business, also with your mindset and things of that sort. Because, well, I feel that the mindset is so important because without that, it's hard to do almost anything. So we're going to talk a little bit about that a little later, but we're going to do some basic stuff this morning, answer some questions and things of that sort. Also, make sure that you go to YouTube, subscribe and like the YouTube page, and also hit the all button, ALL, because if you don't get hit all, you're not getting all the notifications and everything that you need every time we send something out. So make sure you do that. Make sure you also send out a text to your people or link them in or, tag them and let them know that we're going on with this training because everybody needs to hear this on a regular basis if you're going to build a business. Now, if you're just a customer, you don't. But if you're going to build a business, everyone needs to hear this on a regular basis. You can't say that you know it because 9 times out of 10, you don't know it. You have to hear things over and over and over, and then you have to imply those things, and then you have to, so you can't say, well, yeah, I heard they talked about last week, so I don't need to be on this week. Not if you're trying to win in business. Not if you're trying to win and be successful. Now, if you're kind of just hanging out, just want to be a part of the crew, go to the conventions, do those things, then that's different. But if you're really trying to win, to change your life financially, to do certain things in life, then you need to be a part of this stuff all the time. Every time we turn something on, when it comes to training, teaching, anything that goes on, you need to be here in front of it if you're serious about what you're doing. All right, so I got a guest this morning I'm gonna bring up. He's out of Houston, Texas. I call him Big Smooth. He's a diamond executive in the company. His name is Mr. Clavon Browning. Are you there, sir?
What's up, champ?
All
Wouldn't
right.
miss it for the world. Wouldn't miss it for the world.
I know.
What's
I know,
up? What's
right.
up, VP?
All right.
What's up,
there
VP?
he is. There he is. I know you're ready to go, man. I don't even tell you what we're going to talk about. I just bring you on, and then we just start talking. So then you'll know what you'll know that he knows what he's doing because I don't have to prepare him for this. So, as a matter of fact, he don't know what I'm going to ask him. But let's do that. Let's go and jump right into it, man, because we want to make sure that people can get as much as they can during this hour time period. So let me ask you this question. If somebody were to say to you when they got started in the business and they say, Mr. Clavon, tell me 2 things that I need to know before I get started. Just 2 things that's important because I want to build a business. I want to make a lot of money. I want to be successful. What would those 2 things be? That, and I know it could be 1,000 of them, but I'm just asking for 2. What would you say the 2 that you would tell a person?
Tony, that's a great question. It's a necessary question, and people need to really be comfortable, with the answer. There are many answers, but if I had to go with 2, Tony, I would tell a person from day one, they have to understand that whatever their goal is in Tava, like the amount of excitement, they're going to be met with the same level of resistance. And I let a person know that your friends and family members may not support you on this because, the vision, wasn't given to them. It was given to you. So just try not to go on an emotional roller coaster. Don't take rejection personally because there's a process that you're going to go through where you get more competent and, people are going to be, influenced by you. So in the beginning, just remember, I'm talking to Nicole Bramwell. Listen, you're excited. You done told me your goals and your dreams. You're fired up. and your level of expectations is going to be met with an equal or even greater level of resistance. So mentally prepare for that. Okay,
Now,
don't quit. That's
let
number
me
one.
say this. What would you say to a person who says, that's kind of a bad way to start off? I have people say that to me all the time. They're like, because you know, the truth, I think you said something in the beginning about that. Can they accept it? The truth can almost seem negative or can seem harsh, but it's the truth. So when somebody says that, you know, well, Tony, don't tell them that right away, because then they might go out there and sign up everybody. But if they thinking it's going to be hard, but it's the truth, you know what I'm saying? So how do you?
I mean, I feel you, Tony, but the bottom line is this. It's almost like your new distributors. It's just like you raise your children. Do you try to, you know, buffer them from the truth and let them get out there in the cold world and get themselves hurt? Or do you tell them what's real? You know, because you got to understand, 80% of our new business partners have been employees for 20 or 30 years, 40 years, with an employee mindset. And they don't know the grind of sales and building distribution. They don't understand, you know, most people quit the business because they can't handle the rejection that they feel in their first 30 days. And our job is to help condition a person into entrepreneurship with these small little nuggets. I mean, this is a real life. This is no real world. This is not patty cake. You know, this is not some divine utopia. This is hardcore business building. You're gonna build a book of business. You can't be so uncomfortable with telling your new business partners the truth of what's going on in this environment of direct sales.
Right. That's 100% true. Appreciate the answer. Now give me a second one. What else would they need to know?
You know, the second one is money like speed. You know, I don't think it's that deep. You have someone who wants financial relief. If you have someone come into your business and they clearly want financial relief from a retail perspective, hey, use the products, be a product of the product, let your own personal testimony, you know, give you social proof and fuel your campaign and sample your butt off and turn that into retail profits. There's no training for that. But if you got somebody who's building, who wants to build and go through ranks and they really understand what we got going on here, you got to let them know money like speed. I think, Tony, amateurs join companies, professionals launch businesses. And there's not a diamond in this company that did not have some level of a magnificent launch plan to create momentum to move through the compensation plan and move through the ranks. So I teach people about this idea. And now this is the one that you can be kind of cautious with. Meet people where they are. But I like to teach people about condensing time frames, money like speed, and you want to launch your business not casually. Okay. Yes, it's a marathon, but if you sprint out the gate, you have the opportunity of creating some stories that people who are going to follow you months down the line will subscribe to. They will aspire for the stories that you can create in your first 30 days. So these are some of the old school sciences that are still true. And I think it really, really, really works is to let people know that it's the passion and the excitement and the why that will give you that speed. You can't fake it. So it all goes back to the beginning. Why are you here? What is your goals and what are your dreams? Okay, because people don't care what you know until they know that you care. So now that you've tapped in and you're in alignment with that new person, hey, here's how you get it done. Okay, let's be bulletproof. We're not going to take rejection personally. More importantly, we're going to launch into this thing, and we're going to need to do it with speed and condense the time frames. And we're going to do that just with passion. You bring your passion and that sense of urgency, and I'm going to show you. I'm going to help you, mentor you. Well, perfect equation. Failure is not an option.
You know, a couple of things I would say to people also is that they need to know is when you start with a business like this,
right?
You also, like you said, that most of the people are coming from the work world. 80% of them. They don't have the mindset of whatever. Also think about this. Those are the people they're also prospecting. So
Right.
you talking to those people too, who don't have that same thought process. And that kind of is a reason why you said that you might be met with those same forces of the excitement that you have. Because it's like going to a conference and coming home, and then you go to your friend's house to tell them about it. They don't have that same enthusiasm. They don't have that same excitement that you have because they didn't go to the conference. They're not reading the books we suggested. And so you got to understand that process is, you're dealing with a whole set of people that think that there's only this way to do something. So that's why you're going to be met with that kind of force, because they don't understand, another world or another way that we do business, which is interesting because, that's the fight that's why you said 30 days, some people gone.
Absolutely. And we just have to be honest with them. I mean, ask all the diamonds. Even ask you as a diamond evolved into the VP of sales, how many personal friends, or family members by blood are in your Tava network? I know for me,
Hey, I could go further back than that. In my 25 years of doing this, I always say this, I've had one family member, one who joined my business. Now, he joined everyone I ever started, but it was my wife's uncle. Not on my side of the family. It's Uncle Walt. Now, Walt would sign up and everything I call him about. Yeah, here my money. Walt,
there's always one. There's always one.
Yeah, one. But that's on my wife's side. On my side of the family, nobody in 25 years.
So now, when that person says, "Oh, the information's too harsh," or no. Listen, this is the harsh reality. Your friends and family. Listen, this is what you got to teach people. Your friends and family will support you before they do business with you. So you lean on your friends and family for customer acquisition. Hey, I need a huge favor. Can you help me out? Because they'll support you. But as far as doing business with you, it's through referrals and you becoming a people meeting machine or whatever. It's strangers that are going to get rich with you. Your network is going to be built 2-3 levels removed from you. And your executives, you're going to meet them here. You're going to meet them now and in the future. And your friends and families, will probably anchor your business by supporting you. So you get less rejection when you lean on your friends and family for customer acquisition than going to them for business, because they know you too well. And they're judging you.
Yeah. My mother supported me with a product for about a year, taking the product. But she stopped taking it when I stopped paying for it.
I mean,
so that's the way she supported me is that I paid for it. So I drink it. I like it. Yeah. But when it's time for you to pay for it,
absolutely crazy. And we all got the same story.
Right. So everybody needs to understand that. If you sitting back there now thinking and your mind is struggling, you're trying to figure out and why my family don't do this and I wouldn't concern myself with that. I would just keep moving, because you got to understand that he gave the best answer. They're not going to support you in business. Now, they might support you with the product if that type of person is a part of your family. So those things you need to understand when you first get started, that you're going to have that force just as much of excitement that you have. You're going to have that force against you the same way. Money likes speed. So that means that you got to start off, with that list and go through that list fast as you can.
Sense of urgency. Sense of
Yeah,
urgency.
fast as you can. You can't just keep putting it off. Also understand that everybody's not going to be there. It's another thing I used to talk about all the time was the best investment that you can have when you start, the best investment that you can have is a business. All right. That's the best. Now, the average person can't start a traditional business. So this is the best way that the average person can actually get in business. And once you're in business, the best investment in business is you. You got to invest in you. You have to make you a better person, because if you don't get better, your business is not going to get better. If team members don't get better, your team is not going to get better. So you got to understand that not only, okay, you did well by starting a business. That's a good investment. You did that. Now, the next thing you need to do is invest in you and in your mindset and your thoughts and how you should operate. Because I heard a guy the other day said that the best investment was the mindset. It ain't even a house. It ain't even apartments. It's your mindset. It's your thinking. Because if you don't have that, you have nothing. You know what I'm saying? You can't do anything with anything. So understand that's also something you need to know when you get started. It's not just, let me get in, tell people they get day two, and then they get day two, and then they get day two, and we're going to get rich. No, it's a little more than that. And matter of fact, your conversation has to be more than that, because when people are listening, you sound just like every other Tom, Dick, and Harry. You got to have something different to say so a person can say, I might want to, tag along with that.
Right.
So
right.
Those things, first. Let's talk about a little bit about also personalities, because a lot of us, I think we kind of get slack with that and don't really approach people or talk to people in their personality. We know it, but we kind of get slack with it, I think. And when we talk about that, I'm talking about the dolphin, I'm talking about the whale, I'm talking about the urchin, and I'm talking about the shark. And these are personalities that you're going to run across. And matter of fact, you are part of those personalities also. And so if you're not talking that language to people, they're not going to feel you. They're not going to, like, for example, let's go with urchin. Urchin is the fact person. And, different, like corporate America, I think they called it, when I was at AT&T, they called it the gray. That was a gray person or something. But we call it the sea urchin. And that person is fact oriented. They hate being late. They got to have all the facts. They ask a ton of questions of stuff that you think, at least in my opinion, I think, because let me say this, out of all the personalities, the urchins are the one that drive me more crazy than the whale, the dolphin, and the shark. Because at one point when I first started in the business and I would sit down with people, and some of the urchins would be doctors, lawyers, scientists, the people that got a ton of questions. And sometimes you wonder, why are you even asking this question? But because of their personality, it's hard for them to move on until they get that answer. It's just, you thinking, well, you don't need to, I'm thinking, I don't need to know that. But I need to know that. But they do. And if I understand that they need to know that. So if I'm speaking to them, I can't speak to them in another manner or ignore them or say, I ain't answering that question. Because literally they can't move till they get that answer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can't, if you tell them the meeting start at 7 and it's 10 after 7, they pissed. They like, I thought you said the meeting started at 7. I'm sitting here early, I'm like, I'm ready to go. And if we say it end at 8 and it ends at 8:15, y'all not professional. Y'all not, right. Just not. I hate this kind of stuff here, man. You just can't go through life operating like this. And I hate that. But the urchin is the person that take all the great notes. You can look at their notes and you can, like, pretty much you were there with them, because that's how detailed they are. Unless you're trying to read Dr. Nicole notes. Now, and she's an urchin too, but she has dolphin notes. But So if you know that person is like that, then you have to be prepared to talk that language to them. And when you put somebody on the phone, you got to let them know who that person is, because, you know, I've been on the phone before with somebody that was in real estate, and, you know, and they were selling real estate. So in my mind, I'm thinking they're a shark because the person never told me that. So I go into the money, and they stopped me in the middle and said, well, I'm not really interested in that. You know, but that was part of the conversation. I should have known the personality of that person. So when you're talking to an urchin, how would you relay a message to them?
Well, I think that's some good stuff, Tony, because, you know, I think that whether you are brand new in this industry, you've been in the industry for a long time, brand new at Tava or been in Tava for a couple of years, there is no getting away from emotional intelligence. Every person who wants to be successful is going to have a season where they study emotional intelligence. Whether you want to be a better parent, whether you want to be a better spouse, a better business partner, a better leader. And emotional intelligence is about the diversity of your own character. It's about your ability to, you know, the bottom line is like morale. When you have a team, morale, you want people to do what you want and need them to do voluntarily. You want people to do what you want them to do and what you need them to do voluntarily. That's heavy leadership. And you do that by being likable. And I think a lot of times, you know, people forget that being bossed up and being brolic and being the commander is all good, postured up. But there's such a beautiful thing about being likable. You know, like if there's a contest, who's the best, and your whole team votes for you because they like you.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why you can be likable is because emotional intelligence is about diplomacy. Diplomacy is like being savvy, authentic. And what I mean by being savvy, I mean you have the ability to meet people where they are. So when it comes to personality types, we're talking emotional intelligence. Do you have the ability to lose yourself and accommodate others by communicating with them based on where they are,
Right.
where you are? Can you flex? Can you flex your communication style to accommodate another person? Communication is not about your ego and you being heard. It's about you being received. It's about that other person comprehending what you're saying. And that happens through emotional intelligence. That happens through understanding the personality types. You know, so whether it's, you know, if it's an urchin, you know, you got to be a great listener. It's not about so much what you have to say. It's about being a great listener, because a person will tell you what they need. If you analyze and you listen well, if a person's very serious and they want to know a little bit about Terry LaCour and LaCour Laboratories, you need to know that it's in Dallas. You need to know that we're going to be touring that facility in October. You need to know that we've been here for 2.5 years. You need to know where we were ranked on the Business for Home chart in our first 6 months. You need to know a little bit about the CEO and the founder and his history, Mr. Lloyd's history in the industry. You know, urchins want to know certain things. What's in the products? You may not know, but can you send them something from your phone app that breaks down
Right.
all the ingredients? You know, urchins are going to want to know about the comp plan. And you need to know the comp plan, whether it's philosophical. Hey, we got financial relief. We got big time, you know, retirement residual. We got some millionaires. We got people making this amount of them. But here's a document. Here's the comp plan. Listen, you could do 50K a week in the binary. You know, we got matching bonuses. You got to have, listen, urchins want details, and that's the bottom line. So it's not so much what you say to them. It's about listening and knowing how to respond and knowing how to get them on the phone with the right people, or you develop your language in some of those areas, right? Then obviously you have the dolphin. I don't know if you want to go through all of the
Yeah.
points, but
Let's keep going.
yeah. And so then you have the dolphin, and we just use the fish to make it easy to remember
Right.
and talk about. So the dolphin is about fun. You know,
Mm-hmm.
dolphins, all they care about is where the party at. So if you're approaching dolphins, you need to be talking about travel right now. You need to be talking about, hey, the fact that, we're traveling around the world. COVID, that pandemic is simmering down. People are getting more comfortable. They want to get out the house. They want to travel. Well, we got this convention in Dallas we're going to. Hey, listen, our team does these walks in the park every Sunday morning. We're having so much fun. I'll tell you, we're going to get together and we're going to have this banquet on Sunday. You got to talk fun talk to them because they're inspired. They don't care about the money as much if they're not having no fun. So you got to meet a dolphin where they are. You can tell a dolphin by the way they dress, by what they're into, and just be a master listener. They'll tell you their personality type if you ask probing questions, which is another training. You got to ask certain questions to figure out what type of person am I dealing with. Now, this is next level. So the urchin is about facts. The dolphin is about having fun, right? And then you got the shark. The shark is about the money. The shark is, hey, listen, you tell TK Walker's story, documented $1 million earner, there's a lot of more room. We got one triple diamond. You tell the stories of the diamonds and the executive diamonds that have made significant income. It's about money. You let them know that the captain of this ship in his previous company helped over 12 families get to 7 figures. That's phenomenal. Right. There's so much money here. We're in a multi-trillion-dollar recession-proof industry. That's shark talk. Listen, you work with me. I get you on the phone with a couple of people. We design a launch plan. Hey, I can get a comment in the check every week. That's
give me an example of just the viewing of a shark. If you never talk with one, can you kind of spot one a mile away or someone coming up to you, or is it something?
Well, well, nowadays wealthy people are dressing very casual. Things have very really, really shifted. But you can tell by their posture. Their posture is pretty, upscale, and they usually have. There's going to be signs of luxury lifestyle.
Right.
You may not. It could be traditionally their attire. You can tell by their shoes, their what they're driving. You can tell by the questions they're asking you, and you can tell by their lifestyle that they're a shark. And even if there's someone who hasn't gotten to being rich, but they're pursuing it, all you got to do is pay attention. You will know, is this person about money? Do they have hustle and getting to the bag on their mind? Guys, you got to just pay attention. Prospecting is different from retailing. Prospecting, you are really paying attention to this person's personality so you can meet them where they are, because people do business with people they like and who they feel comfortable with. So that's the shark. And then you have the whale. And the whale, see, urchin, I want the facts. Dolphin, where the party at? Shark, show me the bag. And the whale is, I want to help save the world. And so if you got somebody who's a nurse or just a community activist, or someone who works at a boys and girls club, or someone who's very serious in a church, a pastor, a bishop. Now, we all have one or two of these as our main triggers. I know that I am a shark whale. I love helping people, but I'm all about the bag. You're going to find, but there's one that triggers them. And people who want to help people, it's pretty obvious. And you want to talk to them about what? Wellness revolution. You want to give them stories. No particular nutritional claims, as our doctors tell us, but you want to tell stories that are happening in your organization about how the products have created education and all these emotional testimonies, how we can help people. That's the goal of Tava. How about Tava Cares? Maybe let them know about Jolene Mack and what's going on with Tava Cares. This is the diversity that you have to have. And these people talk very softly. They're very mild-mannered. They're very caring. They put other people before they put themselves. And that's how you want to approach that. If you go to a whale who wants to save the world and all you're talking about is money, 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 you're going to turn them off. You go to a shark who wants big bread and you're talking about how much fun you and your team are having. Yeah, that sounds good, but you're going to miss them. Mm-hmm. So emotional intelligence, personality types is about flexing your personality, losing yourself, and meeting a person where they are so you can move them to action. And that takes probing questions and being a great listener.
Right. And it's so important. I think again, because of everything it seemed to be speeding up in this world now, I think a lot of us kind of skip through some of this stuff. Well, first of all, we don't talk about it enough because we really don't have enough time to train people because people don't want to sit still for a while. I remember back when we used to train all the time, Tuesday, Thursday night, Saturday morning, all day. And so you could go over all these things and just pound it in you to where you can look for it. Now, you know, I think people just so moving so fast and not even thinking about the personality of the person you're talking to. You know what I'm saying? You can't just jump out there and you a shark and you talking to a whale. You can't just be talking about all the money that, you know, people made and all this kind of stuff. You losing that person and you don't even realize it because you hadn't even took the time to study personalities and understand what people are. Man, that's a big thing. And we used to emphasize that so much. But like I said, now it's so fast when people coming in, they go. And it's almost like if you continue doing that, the only people that's going to win is the charismatic individuals, the influencers who can run out here. Before, you can have, you know, new people win because they all went through that whole system of doing this. See, the charismatic individuals or the influencers, they're going to win regardless. But if you don't have any of that, you need to understand the people that you're talking to, and you need to understand how to share that on a three-way call to somebody else and say, hey, Tony, this person here I know loves to help people. I just know that from the bottom line. They not. So now my conversation is going to be a little different to them. It's marketing. You got to know who you marketing to, and you got to know what you need to say to these people if they're going to move you, you know. So we're going to move on from that, but I want y'all to do this. Everybody put in the chat, which one are you? A shark, dolphin, whale, or urchin? Now, I know you're going to say I'm all of those. We all say that. Yeah, I know you're going to say all of them, but I'm just telling you, put one. Which one are you dominant in? Which one are you dominant in? Because I'm kind of like, you know, Claiborne when he said a shark and a whale. But there's one dominant. So put one in the chat. Which one are you? And think about this. How would you want to be talked to? How would you want to be prospected? But that's your personality. This other person that put in the chat that you might be a shark, they might be a whale. You got to understand, just because you want all this don't mean they do. And so you got to give them what they want. And I think if we grab that and understand that as we building our business, you know, it's so important that you know these things and understand these things, because now some people naturally do it. Like I naturally, not, it ain't naturally, it's just 25 years of doing it. So when I walk up on a person, I start talking to them, I'm always saying in my mind, I know you. You just got a different name. Because I've met you a million times since I've been doing this business. Your personality, everything, is just a different name. And now I know how to come that way with you. But if you don't take it serious like that and understand, you're going to miss out on some people. And you're going to see, a lot of people realize 12 months later after they're in the business, when you start evaluating your business, you know, like I always do that between, you know, the 25th and the January 1st. I kind of sit back and evaluate my year and what did I do and what I didn't do. And you'll start noticing that a lot of issues in your business came from you. You dumped on the person in Walmart. You in the parking lot, you gave a whole super Saturday. You did a whole presentation. You stuffed product in their hand, and now you waiting on them to call you, and all the stuff we do, you know, is that we have to learn from that. So understand that these personalities are so important. And put in the chat who are you? A dolphin, a shark, a whale, or urchin? I really like to know. Is anybody putting it out there? Okay, well, there's a whale, there's a shark. Let's see what else we got. Urchin, fact person. Well, how you gonna be a whale and an urchin? You just said that. See, there y'all go, putting two of them. I said you can only put one. Just put one in there. Can't put two. Sharp. Well. Okay, so knowing your personality, you want to know how you want to be talked to. And guess what? Those people in their personality, they want to know, they want to be talked to that word T. So that way that they can understand also. Now, let's talk about also when we made our list, we used to always, when it came to business, we would always put outside the names of the list, red, greens, and blues. Now, the reds were people that we looked up to. Those are people that we really admired. Those are people that were very successful. Those are people that we probably are scared to talk to. We probably feel like they don't need to hear about this, or they doing so well. I just don't know. I'm not doing good. So I don't know if I want to talk to them. And so I'm not, but they intimidate the heck out of you. Those are it could be a pastor. It could be a businessman. It could be a athlete. It could be a coach. Somebody who has a lot of contacts and a lot of influence. Those are reds. Then we have the greens. And the greens are your peers. These are people that grew up with you, or these are people that work with you. These are people that have the same job you have. These people drive the same kind of car you got. You got a Honda Accord. They got a Honda Accord LX. They make the same money you make on the job. Y'all hung out and partied together. They know stuff about you that nobody else, because they've seen you drunk. They've seen you hanging out. Those are your peers. That's what we call the greens. And I'm going to come back and talk to them about that. And then the blues are people who look up to you. Those are the people that look at you as a red. They look at you as somebody that has done so much, and they just, it's like they really admire you. They just all they want to do is just be around you. And the blues will sign up just because it's you. And that's probably the most they're gonna do though. Once they sign up, that's what they peak at right there. And I always used to say, when people would write their list out and then they would go start building a business, and they would come back 6 months. Tony, I did what you said. I got 60, 70, 80 people on the team, and none of them doing anything. And they not working, and no. I said, hold on, okay, let's take a look at it. We look at the list, we look at the people who enroll. 90% of them are blues. And I always say, when you enroll a lot of blues, they're going to give you the blues. And so I'm not saying don't enroll them. I'm saying that your list should be more of reds and greens, because a blue can change his life too. But usually what happens in our business is that people will do in our business what they're doing outside of our business. You see what I'm saying? So if they're pretty successful or a little bit, they're going to do the same thing here. You're going to have some examples of exceptions to the rule, but it's normally that. So what do you say about the red, greens, and blues?
Classic stuff, man. Great information for training. It all comes down to, who do you want in your business? A lot of times people don't realize you're building a business, a book of business. It's not a social club. I use people to build the business. And then maybe in 2, 3, 4, 5 years, I'll turn around and use the business to build the people. Some of you may catch that a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
But I use people to build my business. And once we get into a certain level of wealth, we can use this business to build up the people. But don't get it twisted and don't do it in the wrong order, or you'll be stuck. So what are you looking for when you're building your business? There's one word that I was taught. You think about it, Tony, like, I guarantee if I ask you this question, you're going to write down 25 things. Like, what's the one word, one characteristic you're looking for when you are looking to build a team? Now, remember, guys, what are you really doing? You're building a national and an international distribution network of leaders. You're building this tremendous sales team. And who would you want on your board of directors? I mean, who are the first 10, 20, 30 people, the first 2 people that you want. They should be a reflection of you because they're going to override your organization. They should be strong. But if I had to think of one word, dedicated, committed, hardworking, hungry, this, that, the one word I would think of would be influence.
I was thinking that too.
In,
Influences. Yeah.
influence. Whoever has the most influence is going to build the strongest organization. That's the bottom line. Teachers, pastors, coaches, six-figure earners, married couples, network marketers who've done this thing before, part-time, full-time, business owners. Come on, people who have influence. Now, the greatest influence are the people you look up to most likely, and you'll find some in your peer group. Obviously, the people that look up to you is where we always go because we're scared of the rejection and we want to be just, hey, tell people what to do. So you're always recruiting the people that look up to you, and that's a mistake, the blues, right? But you got to focus on the people who have influence, and that takes courage. And you got to get with your sponsor, get on these trainings, and learn how to pique interest of the people who may be in a higher social status than you. Sometimes you got
Mm-hmm.
to ask them for their opinion, and that truly helps. Sometimes you got to tell them, hey, you respect them, but you saw something that just blew your mind. You're about to launch the biggest business of your career. Would they take a look at it and give you their opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes with big people, you can't do any talking. You just lead with the products and give them some samples. And if they like the products, maybe they'll see a business opportunity because they're already business minded. That's happened plenty of times. I've given pastors of big churches complete packs. And 3 weeks later, that pastor and first lady are like, man, we love this. And they want to join the business. They don't want to be customers.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a great technique. And we don't teach that enough. I don't
Right.
know, something's changed. When I came into Tava, we sampled to recruit. Now that's like a dirty concept or something, It's
Right.
like sample to retail or nothing. No, Tava was built in pre-launch. Every leader around the country got products, and we sampled to plant seeds so we could recruit them during pre-launch. So sampling to recruit is very powerful when you don't have to do the talking. Let the products talk for you, but retail's done on your mind. You're trying to get that person to understand we could build and take over this market with these products. Especially if you love them, other people will as well. So, I mean, that's the bottom line. You should make your list full of blues, no, reds and greens, people you look up to, people who are on your level, but the people with the most influence. And don't be intimidated because people with money want to make more money. I know,
Right.
I know what it is to make 150,000 a year and be spending 175.
Right.
Sometimes you got people broke on another level. They're looking
Right.
for something.
Right.
Okay. And if you don't know how to speak to them, 3 pieces of advice. Get your upline to speak with them, let the products do the talking for you, or have the courage to simply ask for their opinion. As you stroke their ego, they'll give you their opinion. And sometimes that opinion is will put them into action.
Right. Right. All right. So we're gonna wrap it up with we got 15 more minutes. We're gonna do what I call the 10 core commitments. To when you work in a business, it's 10 core commitments. I'm going to talk about a few, and I want you to kind of jump in with it also. But the first core commitment, I believe, is that you have to have some kind of game plan to get you started. That's something I think is important, that you got to at least do that when like a game plan orientation. What I do with that is my game plan is kind of, why are you doing it? That's number one. Number two, how much money you want to make. And I always do a little short term, like 6 months to a year. People are not thinking 5 years anymore, 10 years. They just can't even see that. So I go with that. Then my third thing is on the game plan is usually, which is my biggest, what are you willing to commit? And so, that's something that I should have said in the first question. When somebody says to me, Tony, what do I need to know first? Or give me 2 things I need to know. That should have been said then, which is the third question in my game plan, which is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because if you want to earn something and you want to build something, you're going to have to sacrifice. You can't See, I can't start with you today, and then 6 months from now, I come back and I check you out and see what you're doing, and I notice that you're still doing the same thing that you were doing when we started the business. Now, what I mean by that is this: when we started the business with you, Monday nights you were doing your fraternity meeting. You was over, the Omegas or Kappa, so you did that. Tuesday nights was your church night. Okay, Wednesday nights was, I don't know, your TV night. Thursday nights was your family night. Friday night was whatever. And when I come back to you 6 months from now, you still doing those same things and you call yourself having a business. You can't do that. You got to sacrifice some of those things. You have to sacrifice my Monday night and my Wednesday night or my family night or whatever. You can't do the same thing, keep doing the same stuff and expect a different result. You got to give up something to go up. If you want something to succeed in business, you can't just you treat it like it's a little bitty business. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it can go as big as you want it to go if you respect it. But if you don't respect it, you got to say to yourself, what am I going to sacrifice? Like my favorite example of that is I've talked about this for years and just forgot, the Elliot Ness movie with Sean Connery and Kevin Costner.
The Untouchables. The
Untouchables, yeah. There was a scene in the church after Al Capone had killed a couple of his men. And they had hired Sean Connery and Andy Garcia was the hit squad to go after Al Capone. It was Andy Garcia, Sean Connery, and Kevin Costner, who was, the police guy. So Sean Connery was sitting there and he said to Elliot Ness, who was, Kevin Costner, he said, Mr. Ness, I need to know, to get this Al Capone guy, what are you willing to do? What are you willing to sacrifice? You know what I'm saying? He says, if he kills your cat, will you kill his dog? If he stabs your man, will you send one of his men to the to death? He says, that's the Chicago way. And he said, I need to know, if I'm out here fighting, I want to know, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to do? It's the same thing when people start a business. What are you willing to do? I need to know. Can I call you at 12 o'clock at night? Oh no, that's too late. Can I follow up with you right after? Oh no, well, how much money you want to make? I want to make $1 million, but I can't call you at 12. I can't call you at 11. No. It's just, what are you willing to sacrifice? What are you willing to give up? What are you going to cut out to get the money that you say you want to get? Because you're going to have to sacrifice some things. You're just not going to, it ain't going to just happen for you. I don't know what books you read that said that, or what people you're talking to, but sacrifice is big. You got to know that. So in that game plan, I want to know up front, what are you willing to do? What are you going to give up? What are you going, because if you want to, and then if you say, I want to make $1 million, and then you can't do this meeting, you can't come to that meeting, I'm going to say to you right then, you're wasting your time. Because you're not going to be able to do what you said you want to do. So then my fourth one is make a list. The fifth one is do the personalities like we just did, the red, greens, and blues. And then the sixth one, I always tell people, give it at least 12 months. Stay around for 12 months to see if you. So that's the game plan that I do first. And I think in the 10 core commitments, you need to have something. Don't have to be that. And I don't know what you do, but what would you say about that with the game plan?
Man, I just think that was solid. I think you hit on, every major point.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because in there, a person's, recognizing their why, why are they doing the business?
How much money they want?
Something that I'm really proud of, Tony, I want to share as we're closing out is that when I look at some of the leaders that I've been blessed to work with on the team of possibilities, when I look at Pastor Sean Atkins out of New York and Sharita Leon out of New York, and I look at, Dr. Grace out there in Detroit, Michigan, and certain leaders like Rose Walker in Florida, all these executive directors, Tammy Durden out of Houston, Rochelle Felton out of New Orleans. I remember telling them 2 years ago. 2 years ago, I remember saying to each one of these leaders that, a lot of people come into network marketing and it's a hustle. They want to make money, and that's fine. I said, but eventually you're going to realize that the world is watching you. Your family's watching you. Friends are watching you. People that you don't even know are watching you. People at your church, your colleagues. And this is what they're watching for. They're watching to see if this is a get-rich-quick hustle scheme that you got excited about, or if this is something real.
Right.
And I said, they're watching you. So here's what you want to do. And this is before travel. This is before blockchain technology, when it was just hardcore health and wellness. I said, you want to show the world that you are an advocate for wellness. I don't care if you're a shark, dolphin, urchin, or whale. Our philosophy has been, let's be advocates of wellness. Let's show the world that this is real. Now, 2 years later, today, we have teams around the country walking in parks, stretching in parks. We got weight loss campaigns that are just on autopilot right now. Testimonies after testimony, because now it's like, listen, you got to understand your industry. If it's health and wellness, you can't be a fraud about it. So eventually you have the conversation with your core leadership, how real is this? Because money is a reflection of the value you bring to the market and the value you become. Tony, I've watched you talk about value, which is personal growth and development, self-mastery, become great. That's what makes you money, because money represents value. So you're becoming more valuable. But the other part of the value is the value you bring to the marketplace. And the marketplace is the people. So whoever brings the most value to the people, it's reciprocal. You're going to reflect and attract all the money. So I was looking up in the last couple of days, and I was so excited that, man, you may have 100 people, but only 10 or 15 might listen. Only 10 or 15 might be with you a year from now. But that's okay, because if they are solidly locked in and they believe in Tava, they believe in the arc, they believe in this vehicle, and I'm going to tell you, that's our language. I have a team of people that are advocates of wellness, meaning they care about the people in the community. They're going to make an impact on people's lives one way or another. Financial literacy is one thing, but using these products and making an impact on another person's life is real, because now you find your team doing what I just said, having 5 or 8 other women stretching. Like, who is that? They're doing 2 laps around the park, and you don't see that as production. You're thinking that's just activity, but that's hardcore activity that will lead to productivity, because this thing is inside of them. So Tony, like, this is not a light conversation you have with someone who just started, but eventually you get to a point where you tell a person, if you're in Tava, you're going to only do but so much. But if Tava can get in you, you're going to be unstoppable. And so that's why, you start to get people to understand what you said, the commitment of not missing a meeting, the commitment of not missing a commitment, a convention, the commitment of not missing anything where the founders or top leaders are in the region. A commitment of just making that sacrifice. But that has been the most exciting thing that I've witnessed recently in our organization, is that language of really, really, really taking this seriously and making it a part of your life. You don't have to do Tava part-time, full-time. You just do it as you're living your life. Be an advocate of wellness and just see how the blessings unfold. And that's been a big part of our commitments or our commandments as a group, along with putting God first.
Okay, so I'm gonna run through these others right quick. Number 2 is commit to expose at least 3 people a day. Number 3 is host, some kind of, this is before COVID, some kind of private business reception, or what's the new name we came up with for that? Like a home party, but something, whatever you have to do that now. If you still want to do it online or on Zoom, you can still do that, but you gotta launch your business. That's a part of the core commitment. Number 4 is complete a a fast start training, meaning a training on the comp plan right quick. You know, you don't have to do the whole thing, but you want to go over some of the stuff so people can understand it. Number 5, boy, this is old school here. I forgot to even look at this list when I pulled it out. Check this out. See, I'll tell you how old school this is. We used to say, send out at least one long distance info pack per week.
Wow.
You know, that was before the internet, right? So that's like,
Right.
yeah, you had to send out something to another state, another city, at least once a week because you want to try to build something in those areas.
Right.
God dang. That's now you can do that online, you can do it on the internet.
Right.
But man, other one was I will attend all events, any events that I'm qualified to attend. I need to be there. You can't just, I've been to one, I don't need to go to another. No, you got to keep seeing it and hearing it over and over and over. All the corporate events you need to attend. Number 8 is, you commit to daily personal development. Whatever you have, whether it's, listen to audios or books that you're reading, or commit to that daily, because people say, well, I don't need that every day. You do. You need, your mind gets dirty every day. You take a bath every day, hopefully, or shower. So you need to feed your mind every day. Because I always say, when you feed your mind, you starve your doubts. Feed your mind, starve your doubts. Feed your mind, starve your doubts. Number 9 was get a workout partner. Get you somebody that you can commit to, and y'all have the same type goals. You're going to climb this mountain together. Make sure that person is just as serious as you are, because if you get a workout partner that's not as serious, then they'll sidetrack you all day long. The last one is kind of put in writing that you will be around for 12 months, because you can't even evaluate your business if you quit in 30 days or 60 days and 90 days. You got to at least give it 12 months and then look and see if you really did what you're supposed to be doing, or what did you learn from that. So those are the 10 core commitments. Give me your final statement, because we're about to wrap it up now.
Listen, big bro, thank you for inviting me to this platform. You're doing an amazing job as VP of Sales, mindset coach. I admire you, I respect you. And for everybody out there, just remember, at the end of the day, all the training that we're doing goes back to mindset. It all goes back to mindset. Police your thoughts and guard your mind. Have the proper conversations with yourself to create the right emotions so you can take the right actions to get the proper results. Just remember that. Throw away the anxiety, throw away the fear, throw away the doubt, throw away the worry, and spend all your time in the spirit of anticipation, right? The more you anticipate, you're going to have joy and excitement, and that'll move you to do the things you need to do to have the desired outcome. So with that being said, guys, you're all diamonds, and, failure's not an option. All right. Peace.
All right, sir. Thank you. And again, that's another huddle. We just huddled up again, and we're going to huddle up again next Saturday. And you never know who we're going to have on here. Like, I might have Les Brown pop on here one day. So don't y'all just say, I don't know. I think I know who's going to be on here. No, you don't. You don't know who's going to be on here. So make sure that you plug in every Saturday morning, huddle up with us, and you get some great information. And we're going to take this video will be on, Facebook and YouTube and everywhere. And we're going to chop it up too and put some 10-minute clips together. And we'll be sending those out also, so you can get, make sure that you get this information on a regular basis. So I appreciate you guys. Appreciate you, Clayvon, for coming on. And we out of here, man. Can I get my theme music? Can I get...
Come with me, with Tava, no places too far. Come with me, with Tava, no places too far to go. We can take you around the world. New places, new faces, yeah, new zip codes. New money, NFTs and plus crypto. Don't need cash no more. Digital currency on me. Overseas we back and forth. Round trips all aboard, baby. There's room at the top. We'll save a spot for you. Can't no one limit us, so you should come with me. With Tava, no place is too far. Come with me. With Tava, no place is too far to go. We can take you round